All right, so here we have some services that are written to go and fetch data from a remote Mongo instance, right? And we've written it in terms of these DAOs that have encapsulated the low-level generic functions. So these services are being used by a controller, right, to implement a RESTful web service, right? So this service forms part of the web service. It's a service part of a web service. So let's head over to the web part of this, right, which is implemented by a controller. So let's look at the controller for the quizzes, right? So here's a controller. Here it is, quizzes. And here are the two endpoints that we implemented for the controller, right? So it's exposing two endpoints, one for being able to retrieve all the quizzes and one for retrieving a particular quiz, right? Notice that these implementations are both written in terms of the services, right? But notice that the implementation here assumes that these service functions are synchronous, right? Meaning this response, right, that's going to send the response back to the client. Notice that it's a blocking function that is waiting for the inner function to complete, right? And this only works because the original implementation of the service, find quiz by ID and find all quizzes, the original implementation was synchronous, right? Meaning, this outer function is waiting for this function to complete. But now the new implementation is to use asynchronous communication with a remote database. So this is not going to work like this, okay? Wait, I got a call. Yeah, so this is not going to work, right? So we need to rewrite this in terms of now the new asynchronous implementation. So the way we're going to do this is that we're going to remove this from here, right? This service call, and instead, right, we're going to move it higher, right here. See that? And now we know that this find all quizzes. We know that this is an asynchronous call, right? Meaning that this is actually going to return a promise. So we can use the then API, right, to register for the callback. We know that the response from the database, right, is going to be, in this case, all the quizzes. So here is going to be all quizzes, right? And then we can that now we're guaranteed to have the actual quizzes coming back from the database. Now we can move the send in here, right, and actually use it to send back the quizzes to the client who's patiently waiting, right, for the response to come back, right? So we're going to say send back all the quizzes. There it is, right? There we have it, right? So now we've refactored our controller so that it's no longer synchronous, right? Now it's written asynchronously. Let's do the same thing for the for this other endpoint. Right, we're going to move this service, right, we're going to move it from here, and I'm going to cut that, right, and we're going to paste it right here, right, and this is going to retrieve the quizzes. It's going to come back with a promise, and we can register, and this is going to be the quiz, right, the quiz that we just found, and then we can send it back in the response. We can send back the quiz in the response. And we might need to close a couple of parentheses. There we have it, right? So we were able to, again, refactor this from something that used to be synchronous into something that's now asynchronous.